Hey Lions, it's your girl Precious and welcome back to the Lion's Den. First I want to say happy 6-month lock-iversary to me. If you don't follow me on my social media, you should. But anyways, that's not what the point of this video is for. I just wanted to say congratulations to me, myself, and my babies for making it this far. Okay, because so many people doubted me. And if you want locks, if you're thinking about getting locks, this is your sign, okay? Do it now, do it today, do it tomorrow. All I'm saying is start, because you're gonna regret that you didn't start earlier. If you want me to do a video on my locks and my locks journey, please let me know in the comments below, because that's not really what my channel is for. But what I will say is that this journey has been so transformational and truly uplifting. So yeah, like I said, if you want a video on that, let me know. Like I said before, that's not what this video is about. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about something that I have been dealing with for a very long time. I briefly touched base on it in my last video. But as you can see, I'm not in my normal environment. I'm at my mom's house using her office as my den today, because honestly the den is wherever you are. All right, so let's get into this video. As I briefly discussed in my last video, I have struggled with abandonment issues for a very long time. The more I heal and become self-aware, I am learning to let go of those feelings and change the narrative I've always told myself. However, it's been a very difficult and painful process to go through. Before I get into why I even have those feelings to begin with, I do want to express that I love my parents. I now have the understanding that aside from being my parents, they are humans with their own generational trauma and wounds that they were unaware of, and because of that, history repeated itself. I also know that they did the best with what they knew and what they had. As a child, though, who is trying to make sense of the world around them, and your parents being the first relationship that you develop, it is very hard to feel loved and secured when they are absent during the most developmental parts of your life. I didn't meet my father until I was 8 years old, and my mother struggled with substance abuse, so I was raised by several family members. During that period of my life, I grew feelings of unworthiness because I couldn't understand why my parents didn't want me, but I also was too young to understand the logistics of everything going on. That's the true nature of how I felt, though. My mother's mother dealt with her own issues, growing up not having a secure and nurturing relationship with her caregivers. And so my mom and her siblings experienced those same feelings. My mom has expressed to me on numerous occasions that my grandmother did not tell her she loved her until she was 20 years old. And I can tell how much of a toll that has had on my mom and the relationship she has with her kids. Although she's always been an amazing provider, the nurturing aspect of our relationship has been lacking for a lot of our upbringing. I've always known that my mother loved me, but it didn't truly feel that way unless I was excelling in school or keeping the house clean. And so it embedded this belief in me that my worth or the only way to be loved is through my actions. With my father, it has been an uphill climb to get to where we are today. Growing up, that relationship affected me the most. Aside from me, I have 2 sisters on that side, and for most of my life, he's had a closer relationship with them. I've come to understand that because he's been in their life since they were born, it's just been inevitable, but a lot of my life, they've experienced the things and have shared the moments that I've dreamt of sharing with my father. And because of that, it has put this deep rooted feeling of unworthiness. When I was 18 years old, I finally decided to address these feelings with him, just because I was tired of wanting a relationship so badly with him that I would accept any and all attention. His exact response verbatim was, well, there was more to it, but the thing that helped me to better understand why I was never able to have that relationship I wanted was with him was because he didn't know how to love me. Those were his exact words. And so not only was it very freeing, but it was a pivotal point in my life because I could accept where we were in our relationship and not try to get anything more out of it, if that makes sense. My father's father was also absent in his life, and we now talk about the feelings he dealt with in that relationship, but it truly makes sense as to why I experienced a similar dynamic. Seeing as though I had these unfulfilling relationships with both parents, on top of the sexual abuse I experienced as a very young child, it developed this belief within me that love is linked to pain. And although all I ever wanted growing up was to feel loved and to be wanted, I found myself in a cycle of chasing emotionally unavailable people, settling for poor treatment, and having terrible boundaries. Know anything about attachment styles? I have what is called an anxious avoidant attachment style. If you don't know yours, I highly recommend that you do your research and figure it out because it has truly helped me to understand myself and my relationships better. Anxious avoidant attachment is basically someone that deeply craves intimacy, but also at the same exact time being completely scared of it. Before 2019, I found myself jumping from relationship to relationship because I didn't want to be alone. As I said before, my worth was always determined by what I could bring to the table and how I could take care of others. So I found myself in codependent relationships with emotionally unavailable people. On the flip side of that, whenever someone who was secure, who had healthy boundaries, who treated me nicely came along, I would push them away. And for a very long time, I had ghosting tendencies. And it's not something I'm proud of, but it stemmed from my lack of communication and conflict resolution skills. Because I didn't feel worthy of real, authentic love, I would push away anyone who was truly good for me. I pushed away so many great people and damaged friendships before they could even develop because I thought that if I pushed them away, then I couldn't get attached to them and then they wouldn't be able to leave or hurt me. It's kind of the mentality that if I hurt you first, you can't hurt me. And all that really did was hurt myself time and time again. After going through my last relationship and being nurtured and given so much love, I discovered how much my parental relationships and past situations skewed how I looked at love and how I felt about myself. I know I talked about it in my last video, but I ultimately knew that I couldn't be my best for them or myself if I didn't take myself out of the relationship and truly work on and heal through those issues. In the last 2 years, I have encountered people and situations that I believe were sent to me to help heal and test these parts of myself. Through them, I have learned my value as well as how to love myself instead of trying to love other people. I've also learned how to communicate more instead of running away from my problems and feelings. The biggest lesson I've learned has been to set clear and healthy boundaries despite how they may make other people feel. With my attachment style, I have developed people-pleasing tendencies because once I'm attached, I'm afraid to lose a person. So in order to keep the peace, I thought that I would have to do whatever makes them happy, when in reality, it's very much damaging to myself and the relationship as a whole. Today, I'm still learning my worth and how to love myself, but I have healthier boundaries and I'm learning detachment. And that doesn't mean that I'm avoiding love or that I'm afraid of love, because I now understand that I am very deserving of it, but it means that I can be okay with getting close to people without the fear of them leaving. I now understand that I can appreciate each moment that we share together, and truly that how someone treats me or them leaving my life doesn't reflect who I am as a person, but rather their inner issues and choices. I'm still growing and healing day by day, but I'm no longer afraid to be alone. I'm actually finding a lot of peace in it because I'm able to learn who I am as an individual as well as what I do and don't like through this process. I'm understanding how I want to be treated and what healthy relationships look like, and because of that, I'm no longer settling for anything less. The other beautiful part about this entire process is that I've begun to heal the relationship between my parents and I. I feel like the more I grow and change, the more they become self-aware of their own upbringings and how it is affecting them, along with how it is affecting their children. Before I end this video, I just want to say that I do not share my experiences for sympathy, but rather to raise awareness. For a lot of my life, I was embarrassed and ashamed of my upbringing. I felt like because it didn't match what my friends' family looked like, or the family in movies with the white picket fences, that something was wrong with how I was brought up. However, what I've come to understand is there are so many people who experience the same things that I've experienced growing up. So I share my experiences so that others don't feel alone, and to hopefully give light in a world that feels dark most days. Everything that you've ever experienced has been sent to you as a lesson and a test for you to become your most authentic self. Understand that all the pain that you've endured will all be worth it one day. I'm beyond thankful for the situations that I've encountered, because it has given me the mind, heart, and spirit that I have today. And if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm sending you guys peace throughout your own journey, and I want you to know that I love each and every one of you. I promise you better days are coming, and one day you will look back and understand that each part of your life has been strategically planned for you to be who you're meant to be. All right. If you like this video, or you felt like anything I said resonated with you, I ask that you please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones so that they can receive the message as well. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future Lion Den talks. Please feel free to comment down below and chat with me or DM me. I'd love to hear your stories. I really would love for us to continue to uplift and inspire one another. I will add my social medias down below so that you can find me on Instagram and Twitter. And until next time, I will catch y'all in the Lion's Den. Be easy.